What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Patrick and this is Valor Aquaponics. Now, I just want to truly apologize for taking such a long time to upload this video. I actually had a couple of videos made that I actually just kind of threw away just because of how long it's been. It kind of wouldn't make sense. And actually, I have a really good excuse. So I don't know if I told you guys or if this was in one of the last two videos that I ended up throwing away, but my cat ended up getting very sick. Apparently she had been sick for a very long time and I did not know it. And I had to actually put her to sleep a little less than 2 weeks ago. So she had cancer and she lost a lot of weight, and just it was very unexpected, and I've taken it very hard. A lot of you guys that have pets know that they become a part of your family. She was a part of my family. I don't really have a whole lot of family, so she was my family for the last 14 years. So it was very hard for me. But I don't want to bring you guys down too much because there's been so much going on. And I do want to talk to you guys about that and show you everything that's going on, kind of what's about to happen in the next couple weeks. Some really big, exciting ideas that we have. So, you know what? Let's just get started. And I'm going to just take you guys along for the ride, for the tour of our facility. So let's get started. So here we are, we're in the germination room, and not much has changed. I mean, Edward just changed out the filter pad there. We have the tilapia in here, still doing well. Still trying to figure out the balance for the water levels. So trying to, you know, the outflow and then the inflow, and trying to get all that situated. We had a couple minor spills in here. I'll just put it as spills. We're still trying to figure out a better top for this, but for now we're just leaving this on. I know it looks kind of janky, but hey, just bear with us here. And then if you remember, I had a bunch of tomatoes, or maybe I didn't show this video. Once again, it's been so long and my life's been so crazy, I don't remember the last video you guys saw, but we had a bunch of tomatoes. Well, those are out, and I'll show you guys that in a minute or two. But here we're going all new vegetables. So here we have a tray of basil, and it's just starting to sprout. I don't know if you guys can see that. Let's see if I can zoom in, which I was having a hard time finding that one little sprout. So right there. And then right next to it is we have heirloom tomatoes. We have one extra tray of this, and then these are Roma tomatoes, and these have just sprouted in the last 2 days. And this is cilantro, which is just starting. There's one sprouting right here. Cilantro, I found, is hit or miss. Now I'll show you why. This whole tray was planted about a week and a half ago, and we only have about, I would say, 20% germination. So it's not very good. Unlike the basil though, the basil I believe has like a 98% germination. There's one missing here. But everything else is growing really well. It's actually getting pretty big. This is actually sprouted up a second level. Leaves are going great. Here is arugula. So just starting to sprout. Does look a little different, but they are doing well. So they're gonna be in here for probably another week or two. This is the mess. So because we got behind and we're behind schedule, this is our lettuce, and it's as you can see, it looks like a bunch of weeds, and that's because we kind of had to just let it be. This is not going to be for consumption. This is probably going to be we're going to use this to grow more seeds, and then we're going to use some of this to feed the tilapia. So over here is black seeded Simpson. It's a little bit lighter color. You can't see it with the orange, with the pink light. But this is a little bit darker. The leaves look a little bit different. So, and we have 4 trays of black seeded Simpson, 4 trays of Butter Crunch, and basically it's not gonna go to waste. But we will not be selling any of this just because we've had to kind of just let it grow out. So we have more tilapia in here. started raising the water temperature slowly. It's up to 74 degrees. We're gonna actually start breeding these guys the next couple of weeks, because we're gonna actually add a couple more of these systems, especially since we're behind schedule and we're gonna need to start planting a lot of lettuce really quickly. So I need to actually have a couple of these set up. So let me take you to the warehouse, and I'm going to show you guys what's been going on in there. So here we go. We're going into the warehouse, and as you can see, there's been a little bit of a new development over there. So I'll talk about that in a second. We also made a little bit of a development over here. We used to have trout separated in these two tanks, and I'm not going to show you what's in that tank because it's just a bunch of dead fish. So what we were having an issue with is when we had this set up, we actually had to basically circulate between the two tanks. It was getting to be too much of a mess. I was actually having to come here in the middle of the night, is when we would have when the flow wasn't right, and I would have to come here and fix it. Excuse me, I got the hiccups. So we decided to just put everything into one tank. And it's mainly because we also realized that we lost about 1,000 trout, which we kind of anticipated anyway. So we figured putting them into this one tank is actually a lot better for our chiller, and it's a lot easier to clean. So our chiller runs a fraction of the time now, and that thing takes a lot of juice. So trout seem to be doing pretty well. We still have a couple that die off here and there, but that's going to happen naturally. When you buy fry and fingerlings, you know, people just can't tell. You know, you don't know what the genetics is going to be. So you don't know if some of them are going to be, you know, that there's going to be mutations or genetic defects. So you're going to have a drop off. But for the most part, these guys are doing well. I don't know if you guys can see this, but we have quite a few in here. They are doing well. We have quite a bit of biofiltration in here. We have 3 sponge filters in here. We have 2 air stones in here, which actually is capable of doing about 10,000 gallons, aerating 10,000 gallons. So they have plenty of air. That's definitely not a problem. We just have to be mindful of the ammonia. So these guys are doing well for now. I did stick one plant that I took from my house, put it in here to kind of help with the ammonia. But I didn't realize that trout will actually try to attack it. So they've actually started taking it apart. So I just fed these guys a couple hours ago. I think maybe I'll just do a little sprinkle and just show you guys what it's like when they feed. So we've resorted to doing a couple small feedings a day versus multiple small feedings a day versus like 1 or 2 big feedings. So if you see here, I'm sprinkling the food, and they just go crazy. So you can see all the ripples. That's them chowing down at the top here. So let's spread some more food. So yeah, as you can see, they're capable of eating basically 24/7. If we let them, they'll just eat and constantly eat. But we're trying to be a little bit more responsible with feedings. And for the most part, they're all doing pretty well. They're still only about 1.5 inches, 1.25 inches. We do have some very small ones in there. We don't know if those are going to make it. They'll probably end up getting eaten by some of the bigger ones. Some of the bigger ones are closer to like 1.5 inches, maybe 1.75 inches. So still got a ways to go, but yeah, but doing well. So Edward and I were actually able to put in the pond liner and the four lower grow beds. So we decided we're going to start off even phasing in these vertical grow beds, mainly because of time and money. So we were able to get these 4 done, the 4 lower ones. The 4 top ones, they are plumbed in, but we don't have the pond liner in. We do have the lights set up, but we're not going to turn those on. But everything else is plumbed in. We have to finish the sump down here, the sump system, and then I have to hook up the pump over here, the plumbing is 90% done. So in the process, we were actually able to also finish the pool here. So this is about 4,500 gallons. Kind of depends on how much water we want to put in. But we just put in the pump yesterday. We're still finishing up a lot of stuff in here. And actually what we found was we actually found a hole right there in the pond liner that we did not put in. And so we had to patch that. So that's a Firestone patch, because this is a Firestone pond liner that we actually sell. We wanted to stick with the same brand for a patch, so we bought their patch, we applied it, and I actually siliconed around it. The patches actually come in squares, but everything that I've read said that you should cut them into circles. They adhere better, you have less chance of them pulling off. So we cut it into a circle and we follow their direction, so we're hoping that stays. The water line's actually just going to be right at the top of that patch, and the tiny little hole is actually right in the middle of that. So we're hoping that that stays. The fish aren't actually going to be in here. We're actually going to block some of this off. So we're still trying to figure out how we're going to block off some of the fish, because we have Edwards 300 trout, which would eat our trout right now because of the size difference. But we have to figure everything out in the next week, because this is actually going to get filled up probably next week. So we got the water return with the valve set up there, and so hopefully this will be filled up with water by the next time you see it. So it does have insulation underneath. It's a wood frame with a metal frame built inside of it, so it's 1-inch galvanized pipe frame that has a wood frame around it. And so we're hoping that's going to be sturdy enough to hold all this water. And then it's screwed into the deck here. So we have our this is our mineralization tank. We don't have it fully filled, but we've been running this for about 2 weeks now. So we're just trying to get the bacteria level up. So we kind of want to get a head start. So by doing this, we can shorten the amount of time that we have for cycling, or that's at least our goal. So so we're hoping that when we do fill up the tank and we get this going, that at least the the bio balls right in there are all set, and we have enough bacteria to at least get started, and instead of having to wait another 2-3 weeks, that we'll be ready to go. So let me take you to the koi ponds here. So you guys have seen this first one. I've shown a few videos about that, and I'm just trying to put up the trellis netting here. Having a little bit of a hard time, just because there's nothing that's made for this height, so I have to cut everything, and trying to find it's kind of a nightmare. So working on that. So doesn't look terrible, doesn't look great, but at least the tomatoes are still doing well. They are growing, albeit they're growing a little slower than I thought they would, but they are still growing, doing well. We have the tilapia. We have the koi in here. You can see a couple right there. So we actually split these up. We've been having some issues with our koi, and so I'll explain that when I get to the next tank. So, but this seems to be still doing very well. But then I made the second bed here. So this bed is actually a little bit different. It's actually a little bigger. It's 2 feet longer and it's 1 inch wider. So it's 1 inch wider that way, and it's 2 feet longer, and it's the same height, but it's got I basically made improvements from that one. And then what we did with the grow lights is that we actually put them on these ratcheting basically adjustments, where we can bring the lights all the way up to the top, but we're actually able to concentrate the lights closer down, so that we don't have, so I don't know if you guys saw over there, but the plants were kind of leaning towards the windows, so they're getting a lot more of the light from the windows, and we're actually seeing a tremendous more growth here. So these were planted the same exact time as those vine tomatoes. These are heirloom tomatoes, and I would say, and these actually sat in the germination room for probably an extra 2 weeks. So their root systems got really big, they got really tall. But even being out here for the last week to 10 days, they're actually growing substantially better because of how much lower the lights are. So that's something that we're going to be doing for the for all the new koi beds that we're going to be doing. So we only have four trays in here. That's because I miscounted and forgot to plant the 5th. So that's what the 5th one is growing right now. That'll stay in there for at least another week. And then we'll actually put it in here. And then we actually have room for one more of these styrofoam trays. And I have to decide whether it's gonna, we'll probably end up putting the basil in here. Or I might put the Roma tomatoes in here. We'll wait and see what happens. So we do have this koi pond. It's the same exact koi pond as the other one. But however, there's only like 4 or 5 koi left in here. It's because we've lost a couple in this tank. And actually we lost a couple in that tank too. So we're not sure what's going on. We're not sure if the koi that we got from the farm maybe just had some parasites or something like that. We've had a couple of them jump out. I know that we found that one reason why they sometimes jump out is when they feel bullied or when they get scared. The water quality is fine. We've checked the water quality. That's not a reason that they should be dying. We're finding that the ones that are dying are really skinny, so they're not eating. There's something wrong, and we're trying to figure that out. So I think from here on out, when we buy more koi, because we will be buying more koi in the next probably about a month or two, we're going to quarantine them. We're going to treat them for any potential parasites and things like that, and then we will introduce them into these koi ponds, and maybe we'll have the 3rd koi pond over here once this is all cleared out a little bit more. So that's it for a system build. Quite a bit going on. You can see the koi are right here. They're actually getting a lot less fidgety. They used to, I don't know if you guys remember, but they used to really be skittish of us. They're still a little bit skittish, but they're not too bad anymore. But let me take you into the air conditioning, more for my sake than yours, because hopefully you guys are already in air conditioning. But I'm gonna take you guys in here because this is where I always like to finish my videos, where it's cooler. The lighting is a little bit better for my eyes, was that pink lighting does hurt a little bit. So these guys are doing great. You guys can't really see with my reflection, but these guys are doing well. They're all hiding. These guys are still really skittish, so majority of them are hiding in here. He or she, I don't know if you guys can, just disappeared. So they do get better. I did throw a bunch of my fish in, so I don't know if you guys can see this little guy right there. That's an octo catfish. Over, I think back in here somewhere, I don't think we're gonna see it, is my pleco. I have a pleco in here, and then I have a bunch of these Cory catfish in here. So I have a couple pepper Corys, and I have a couple albino Corys, and a couple green Corys. So actually there's 6 green Corys, 2 albinos, I think 2 peppered or 3 peppered. I don't really remember. But they're doing in here. They're doing great. They love it. They're getting fat. The koi are still skittish, not sure why, but let me put this camera up, and it's gonna look a little weird for a second while I adjust everything. But I hate doing all these edits and cuts, and I feel like it's not as fun. So kind of what's been going on is, so we have a USDA inspection coming up. So they just called us today and said that they would like to do our USDA inspection the first week of September, which means we have to get our main system up and running by next week. So I've already spoken with Edward. We're in a time crunch, so we do have to get that up. I have to get the next germination beds up. I do have to get our breeding tanks up. So those are all the things that I have to do this week. I'm probably gonna put up a couple of the shelves today while I'm here. And then today's my day off from my full-time job. So I will be here doing a little bit more work. So we have that going. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but our website, I've updated our online store, and we've actually been selling quite a bit. We actually posted a lot of the items that are on our store on eBay, and we've actually been selling quite a bit of items, air pumps and air stones and things like that. So we only have a limited stock. So if you guys are looking to buy things, you would want to purchase them sooner than later, just because you know, we only have so much stock and we only have so much funding. So you know, we're kind of we're not able to put a $3,000 order in the next month or so. So once we run out, we're going to be out for a little bit. So on top of that, we're also trying to get some more investments or investors. So we're actually working with mainvest.com right now, and that's for people that are not registered or licensed investors. It gives, so basically that could be you actually have a chance to invest in us, any amounts, and then what happens is you get, I think our terms are set up as a loan, so you get return on your money, and then it's actually not that terrible. And then if you give $1,000 or more, you actually get a year's worth of our subscription service for free. So that's like a $600 value. So you're basically investing $400 after that. And let me talk to you about the subscription service, because I'm not sure if I spoke about it in my last posted video. So after doing a small market study here in our county, we sent out a poll asking people, hey, if we started a subscription service where you could buy vegetables from us through our website, and you can get these vegetables every 2 weeks or once a month, but you know where they're coming from. You're buying them from us, you're buying them from these facilities, from where we're growing. We don't partner with anybody, we don't have a secondary grow location. Everything's grown here in our small little facility. But if people would be interested in buying our vegetables, which are all natural, I can't say organic anymore, mainly because of the USDA. We actually got in trouble with the USDA because we can't say organic until we get our certification. So I'll be saying all natural until we get our certification. So you'll get our all natural vegetables for a monthly fee, or for a shipment fee. It's like, I think we're thinking right around $35. You'll get an assortment of tomatoes and lettuce, and probably the basil and arugula. And then we also want your input on what else we should grow, because we do have the space, we just don't know what to grow or what you guys are going to like, whether it's spinach, kale, if there's other herbs, maybe parsley that you guys want us to grow. We can do that on a weekly basis. So if you guys are interested in the service, either find us on Facebook, find us on Instagram, find us through our website, valoraquaponics.com, or leave a comment below in our video, and let us know if there are certain vegetables, certain things that you want us to see us grow, that you would be interested in purchasing as part of maybe this subscription service. It's like a tongue twister for me. I can't do this. So we do want to start launching that. It probably won't launch till end of September, probably October realistically. Will be the first month that we start it, but we'll probably start it every 2 weeks. We'll start it off doing every 2 weeks until we get the volume of vegetables growing. Then we will eventually offer it every week. But for now, it will be every 2 weeks. That's the minimum, or that's the maximum you can do, and the minimum is once a month. And you can choose, you can mix and match of what you want to buy, whether it's you want more tomatoes, or you want more lettuce, or you want more arugula. And then you guys pay the fee. There'll be a boxing fee, which I believe is $5.99. That helps pay for the cold packs and the insulation to keep everything fresh, because we will be shipping these to your house, to your front door. We do plan on using probably priority mail, USPS priority mail, just because it's a typically 2 to 3 days turnaround time, depending on your location. So, look out for that. Other than that, like I said, we're looking for more investors. So if you guys are interested, that will be actually going live maybe by as early as later this week, possibly as late as next week. So I'll be putting that on. I'll put it actually on our community page on YouTube, as well as our social media. So lots been going on. I don't want to try to make this video any longer. Lots been going on. A lot's going to happen in the next two to 3 weeks, especially up to Labor Day. It's going to get absolutely insane. So I will try to do another video, probably do another video next week. I really only have time to do one video a week. I just don't have the time between working full-time and being here full-time. So it gets really hard. I do need sleep. I'm still dealing with the morning of my cat. I still have another cat at home that I had to take care of. So you know, that's my family, and I know some of you guys don't understand, but it's okay. Some of you guys will, and some of you guys don't. But you know, I appreciate you guys watching our videos. I appreciate all the positive feedback that we get. I love it when you guys leave us you know, positive comments, positive messages. It really helps us out, because it's just two of us, two ordinary guys, just building the system, trying to create an American dream for us, and trying to help our community and help all of you eat a little bit more healthy. Lord knows I could eat a little more healthy. I guess you guys can probably tell by my facial structure that I'm a little chubby. I'm what's called fluffy. So I need to lose some weight, and this is going to help. You know, having vegetables to eat, having fresh. I almost said it. All natural vegetables to eat. So once again, thank you so much for watching our videos. If you haven't already, like and subscribe, and every time, and if you hit that little bell, you'll get notified every time I upload these videos, which has been sporadic, but I'm trying to do better. It'll be a lot better once the system's up and running, and I'm not spending most of my time building things. So it's, you know, I'll be spending more time just doing some paperwork and things like that, and I'll have more time to edit videos. So I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys are staying safe. You remember to be the change that you wish to see in the world, and we'll see you guys later.